Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and today we are going to talk about a pretty exercise, which is a kettlebell unsupported row. Normally I put this exercise in a pretty category of exercise. Normally, when we're teaching pulling movements, we focus on swings, we focus on cleans, we focus on snatches, and we focus on inside circles and outside circles because those are all pulling movements that integrate the use of the legs in a directly athletic manner. I can point directly to something that they are part of, whether it be fight movements, circus movements, or just daily movements. Rows, on the other hand, are an exercise that are very popular in the gym, but are not as popular among kettlebell guys because we tend to not like to isolate muscles. We tend to want to work on movement patterns. But there is always a place. There is always a place for rows. We have a previous video on a supported bench row, and now we are going to move on to kind of the second level movement, which is an unsupported single arm row. Anything that is a single arm free weight exercise is kind of an ab exercise. The heavier the weight gets, the more abby it becomes. This exercise is taught after swings and after cleans because your body is the bench, which means your abs have to be strong enough and they have to fire reflexively enough in order to support your body in this position. If somebody is brand new to training, we tend not to teach this to them because we have no idea if their core will support their body in this position or not. If they've done 6 months of swings and 6 months of clean and press, then we absolutely know that their body will support them in this position. In this exercise, we are going to point 2 feet straight ahead. We are going to hinge at the hips. And I want you to think of this bottom position very much like the bottom of a kettlebell swing or the bottom of an outside swing. The difference is you're not moving. You're now just holding a static position. I always consider static position holds to be more advanced than a moving version. A moving version allows you to get into the position and out of the position over and over and over again, which allows you to develop neurological connection to getting in and out of that position by gathering a lot of experimental data on being in and out of that position. Think of this as the bottom of that swing position. Chop the hips, push the booty back, load the hamstrings, and now some people will be further forward, some people will be more upright. That is a personal preference and that depends on how strong you are. I like to be more like a 45, but you will see people go all the way just off parallel to the ground. What we are going to do is activate our lat, keep it on and fired, and now we are going to draw our hand up towards our hip. We are straightening out our elbow all the way at the bottom so that we are not doing that bodybuilder thing where we're trying to maintain tension. That can mess people up over time, so if you're not a bodybuilder, we don't do that bodybuilding technique. At the bottom, we straighten our arm all the way out. We're gonna keep our lat on the entire time, and we are gonna draw our hand to this space between the rib and the hip bone. Hand is gonna slide all the way up into that position, and we are gonna squeeze our shoulder blade back in together. We are going to keep our body flat as the weight moves. So the core firing in here is anti-rotation. We're fighting the rotation that the kettlebell wants to pull us into rotation at the bottom. We want to make rotation at the top. For this version of this exercise, we are fighting that rotation. Let's move it up in weight, get set up, kettlebell outside the feet. Our feet are shoulder width apart or slightly in. If the kettlebell is really wide, you can take your feet all the way together. The most important thing is that if your feet are one distance apart, that your knees are the same distance apart. If your knees collapse, drive them out from the hips. Point those 2 feet straight ahead, activate that lat so that it's on, draw your hand up towards your hip, straighten your arm out all the way at the bottom. Maintain your crown to coccyx alignment. If your head is doing weird things, you're gonna end up in weird positions that are probably not great for you. I'm doing right now a single breath. I am going to inhale on the easy part, which is the down part, and I'm going to exhale on the hard part. We can change the angle of our body a little bit, but We need to come to a place where our back can support us. Feet nice and strong. Activate that lat. People will do different things with this other arm. A lot of times people will put it out so they can drive down that other lat to create more tension. This exercise gets plugged into the pretty section of programming. Oftentimes, if you're working on a movie or something like that, you will focus on your fundamental movement patterns the most because they yield the most athletic person. And then you will set up what we call pretty sections of training, where we set a timer and we'll do pretty exercises, like say, chest press and row for 15 minutes nonstop. And that's after they've done all of their other training, the really useful athletic training. We will go ahead and work on the muscles that are most visible on camera. Upper body muscles, chest, incline chest, and rows. Very simple way to do it. Get some weights, set up a timer, and go back and forth between versions of those two exercises for time. For ladies, we tend to do a different thing. It tends to be all abs for pretty sections of training, but there's another option. Make your body the bench, point your feet straight ahead, straighten out your arm at the bottom, keep your lat on the entire time. Drive your lat down towards your back pocket, even in that position. Vary the angle, whatever angle you need, in order to make sure that your body is stable and strong. In this position here, our abs are on. Our abs are always on. That's why we do lots of swings, lots of cleans, and lots of presses. Make sure that your body is supported and get through it. This has been Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica.